Hi. Oh my goodness, I am so excited, you guys. You are not going to believe who I have sitting with us today. He has gone from addiction to overcoming. Are you ready to meet him? His name is David. I know him as Punchie Martin, and he has wrote an amazing book called ABCs of Faith, the 26 Keys to Living Stress-Free. You all please welcome David Martin.
Hey, how everybody doing? My name is David Martin, and I'm from Port Arthur, Texas. I'm excited about this day to be able to sit here with my friend Keisha and share with y'all where I came from. I was one of those people that was addicted to the streets, drugs, women, all that crazy stuff you could be addicted to. That was me. But I'm also that person that could say that God delivered me from these things and that he changed my life, where I come from addiction to working in the ministry, to getting my bachelor's degree in theology, to even publishing my first book. I like my wife say, a devotional, something that you could read every day, named the ABCs of Faith. So I'm excited about today, and I believe you're going to hear something that's going to change your life forever.
Yes! Yes! Here's something that's going to change your life forever. I absolutely believe that. So, Punchy, let's just get into it, okay? From addictions to overcoming. Let's talk about the addictions, and then we're just going to go through the journey of how you overcame, okay? So let's dive into addictions.
Okay, well, my addictions, they really came from growing up in the hood, started off, just smoking a little marijuana, before school dances and before a basketball game, just having a little fun. But the thing about when you tap into those drugs and things like that, the devil, he starts sliding in other little drugs, just slowly in. He just don't start you off with the strong stuff. Like I started off with marijuana, then I started drinking a little alcohol, and then it's like this thing with the codeine, the syrup, the lean, whatever you want to call it, because there's many names. So now we're drinking the lean, and now plus the marijuana and the alcohol. And then after that, you start doing that, then, the devil introduced something else. Hey, you could take this little pill right here. Take this Xanax with it. It's going to make you feel even better. Take this Vicodin with it. Hey, go ahead and take this Loracet. Take this Soma. You okay. So now you start doing these things. And, and this started off probably about the age of about 18, I'm going to say, as smoking marijuana and things. And then by about 21, 20, we started drinking the lean, and this is an everyday thing. This is from sun up to sundown. This was our lifestyle. This is, the music we was listening to. This is what they said they was doing. And, and we was like bragging because we was doing it in real life. Some people, they rap about it, but they're not actually doing it. But we was doing these things. I saw the people selling drugs and making a lot of money. Now, me, I never got into making a lot of money selling drugs. I was addicted to the party lifestyle. Catch me at the club at night, get kicked out the club and all those type of things. That was me. And then, as life, it starts getting harder, and you start seeing that, I need to start making some money. So, then I start dabbing in, let me sell something and stuff like that. And I got caught by the police one time, like for some marijuana. A misdemeanor, like in the streets. Oh, it's just a misdemeanor. That's nothing. So you keep on going. But then I got caught with the syrup, the lean. And when I tell you, I walked into that lawyer office, and he told me, Mr. Martin, this case starts off from 5 to 99 years. I almost passed out, because I didn't hear the 5. I just heard 99. So I'm like, man, I told that lawyer, I say, hey, man, look, I was just drinking this stuff, man. Like, I ain't 5 to 99. That don't make sense. That didn't add up.
Right.
But, so then, got on probation. They gave me 8 years probation. So I'm still doing that. But the drug addiction, it just never, I still wasn't able to shake it, even though I didn't want to be this person no more, because God, my whole life, God always sent somebody to encourage me and tell me that, I could do more with my life, and especially my mom. because, you know, she was the one that would see me walking in the house at 6 in the morning. I'm talking about year after year. This is every day. I'm walking in the house 6 in the morning, you know, out my mind, you know, and in my mind, I'm like, she don't even know that I'm high because she never talked about it. All she did, like, I walk in the house and she'd be like, you hungry? You know, and, and she
never said anything about it.
Never said anything for years. Just love me, you know. Like, I'll wake up the next day and, you know, and she just would talk to me and love on me and, you know, be like, hey, you know, anybody hiring? You know, just encouraging me to just go do right. So this going on for years. I would say when I got caught with the lean, that was about 2006. I'm going to say probably 2008, though. Like, my mom had a conversation with me, and I remember she was crying, and I never really saw my mama cry, but she told me, she called me Punchie. That's my nickname, like you introduced me earlier. Punchie, you're not just living for yourself. And I was like, I didn't understand it. But, like, if you fast forward to me where I'm at now in life, I understand it now.
Yeah.
That I'm not just living for myself. Like, my mama looking at me, you know. They got millions of people that's waiting for me out there.
Right.
And I'm steady just smoking weed and sipping syrup and popping pills because I thought I was just hurting myself. Because when you dig deep down, I didn't love myself.
And that's actually where a lot of it comes from, especially when we think about addiction.
Right.
Because addiction, becoming addicted to anything, starts with the loss or the void of something inside of you not being fulfilled, not recognizing that you are loved, that you are worthy, that you have more to live for than you don't, you know? And then you go into these things treating yourself poorly because you don't love yourself. And like you said, it started with you not knowing that. You were just being selfish simply because you didn't love you. So you didn't recognize somebody else out in the world loved you too. And one of those people being your mother, because she consistently prayed for you. She consistently opened the door for you and was there for you. Yes. Come on, let's keep going.
And I tell you, like, you know, after that conversation with my mom, it did make me, like, start thinking about it. Like, you know what, I'm not living for myself. So, you know, it's like my desire to want more out of life. I started, like, I'm put like that, I started filling out applications, you know, because at first I just would tell my mom, yeah, I'm going to look for some jobs, but I was just riding around with my partners, you know, getting high, just, you know, doing what we done every other day. Like, you know, I ain't going to look for no job. That's a waste of time. You know, I could sell some drugs and make some money. Like, that's easy. So then one day when I was riding around doing my normal routine, I remember I was riding around in my little 1993 Honda Accord with the bullet hole in the windshield, smoking my weed, just riding around. I get a phone call from my little cousin telling me, hey, Punchie, come to the house, man. They got this woman over here in a BMW, and she looking for you. So my mind, where I was at, all I heard was woman in the BMW looking for me.
Didn't hear nothing else.
I must have found a nice one at the club the other week. So I bust a U-turn in the middle of the street and got there because I'm thinking I done found me like a nice, like, rich woman that's ready to
you got you a sugar mama.
Ooh, I'm ready. Let me see what's going on. So I pull up to the house and I'm like, I ain't never seen this woman in my life. Like, so I'm like, it must was a real good night at the club because I don't even remember this conversation. So now I'm like, yeah, what's up? You looking for me? She was like, yeah, the church around the corner, they had a job program. And, you know, I was sitting here to come, you know, look for Punchie. And I'm like, yeah, that's me. So we got a job program? Yeah, I'm like, what kind of job? Construction. So, you know, you hear construction, you know, out here in Port Arthur, you know, that's where the money at. So I'm like, well, shoot, well, let's go. I'm talking about everybody. See, the house I was at was like the hood house where everybody met up to do whatever they wanted to do. We met up right here. So the house had about, I'm going to say about 6, 7 people in there, you know, not doing nothing. So I was like, hey, let's all go down to the church. Let's go get some jobs. So we go down to the church, you know, we get into the program. Man, we working it, you know, but at the same time, let me tell you, I'm still getting high. I'm still sipping lean. I'm still popping pills.
None of that changed.
Yeah, none of that changed, you know. Actually, it started getting worse because now
you have more money to supply it.
You know, so smoking embalming fluid. You know, we just doing everything that we thought we could do, you know. So I get in the program, I get a job, and I'm talking about I'm working one day. Matter of fact, it was my first day working. I'm making $17.88. Man, I thought I made it because I never made that amount in my life. Just to put it out there, to pass the drug test, I just used somebody else's urine, because that's what we was taught in the neighborhood. You just bring somebody else's urine and then, you know, dump it, and, you know, you got your job. So I'm working that first day, and I'm in the mud digging, and the general foreman, hey, David, come here. So me and my little cousin, we in the pit digging out the mud. I say, man, they must have seen how hard I've been working. They ready to promote me already. Like, I'm like, man, it's old. I told you we that program. Like, I'm excited. So I walk up to the office like, hey, what's going on, man? You know, hey, David, we got to kick you out the plant. I say, kick me out the plant? What you mean? Well, your background came back, and because of your felony, you can't work here. I'm talking about my heart dropped. Because I'm finally trying to do right with better. I'm trying to do better.
Trying to do better.
You know, like I got a job. You know, I'm still getting high and all that. But I'm trying. And then you tell me something, because this was like 2010s, and you telling me something that I done in 2006 is stopping me in 2010.
4 years later.
And that's what we're not told about, you know, with the drugs and the alcohol and the chasing the women. Like, when you do those things, it follows you. And you got to answer to that one day.
Right. Okay, you all. So this has been a phenomenal conversation, but I want to take a quick break and ask you to do two things. Number one, hit like and subscribe if you are not following my channel. That's number one. Okay, and number two, give a huge thank you to Hampton Inn & Suites, our corporate sponsor for this episode, where making you happy makes us happy. If you need a place to stay, make sure you stay at Hampton Inn & Suites in Port Arthur, Texas. Now back to our regular scheduled program.
And that was my day. So, of course, I go back to the program, talk to the pastor. And, you know, pastors, they're going to give you an encouraging word. You know, they're going to tell you this. But I really wasn't trying to hear that. Because I'm like, man, they just kicked me out the plant because I got caught with some lean in 2006. It's 2010, pastor. Like, what they expect me to do? And he, Apostle Simon Caron at Jawa World Church, he just told me, hey, David, God got a plan for you. Keep walking straight. So, okay, so I'm back in the program. We go into this. And the wild part is we still doing drugs and doing what we want to do. And then Apostle Simon, he tell me, hey, I got another job for you. Monday, you go take a drug test. Okay, cool. I'm still getting high. But I had, you know what? I stopped smoking marijuana, but I still was popping pills and sipping lean. Okay. So
that became your new vice.
Yeah, like, you know, I was like, okay, I understood that, okay, with the marijuana, that stay in your system 30 to, 60 days or whatever. You know, that's what they told us. So I'm like, okay, let me get off of that. So, by the grace of God, I wasn't smoking weed. But then, like, when he told me that on a Thursday or a Wednesday. So I was in my mind, I'm like, okay, well, I could take some pills today and, Thursday, Friday.
Oh, you count down the days to make sure it's not in your system.
Yeah, 3 days. I'm good. Okay, so I could take some. Okay, Friday, Thursday. So we threw a big party. Hey, man, I got another job, man. I'm about to, let's pop these pills. We're going to celebrate. Man, I'm about to go get this money. So I take the pill, go down, take the drug test, and Pastor Charlotte, she done a Christian Faith in Port Arthur, Texas.
Charlotte Moses.
Yeah, Charlotte Moses. She done the drug test. So whenever she looked at me and said, hey, David, you failed. I looked at her like, how did I fail? 1, 2, 3. I'm counting the days. Hey, it's been 3 days since I took some pills, Pastor. Like, she like, well, let's look on the computer. Looked on the computer. The thing said it take 2 weeks. And I saw the tears in her eyes. So I had to leave because I'm about to cry. So I leave. I'm in my car. I'm driving. And then my phone ring. It's Pastor Simon again. And, like, I looked at the phone like, man, I don't want to hear this pastor talk right now, man. Like, but then I hear clearly in my spirit. I would say this was the first time I ever really just heard the Holy Spirit
The God
talk.
encounter.
Man, and I just heard he only trying to help you. I'm talking about clear, like, so I had to answer the phone. I answered the phone. He tell me to come to the church. Then as I'm at the church, he tell me, wait up. He's on the phone. And I just started crying. And I don't cry. Like, I go to funerals, I just don't cry. But I'm talking about snotting. And he like, what's wrong? I said, I don't know. I can't stop crying. And then, like, I'm just crying. So he took me in the office and he said, David, God is allowing you to feel a pain that you never want to feel this pain again. Because you know what's bringing this pain to you. And then in my mind, I'm like, the drugs, the alcohol, that's what's bringing this pain. And he said, today, those tears are tears of deliverance. You're delivered today. You don't have to go back to that life. This is your day. And I'm like, okay. It's like I stopped crying, started going to the program, and then, like, I dabbed one more time. I had to try it out again, Keisha. Like, let me try the streets one more time. Let me see, cause
let me just see if it's the same.
Like, cause I'm doing good. I'm going to the program. I'm even starting to go to the church. On Sundays. Let me just see what's going on one more time. This time, I ended up in the hospital. Like, my blood pressure 200 over 150, crazy numbers when I walk in there. And so it's like I remember my mom being at my side at the bed, but then, like, I woke up and my mom was gone. It was the pastor. So I'm like, man, what you doing here? Where my mama? Because, where my mama?
Right.
I told her to go home, man. She tired. I'm staying here and I'm going to pray for you. I'm praying for you. And I'm in my mind, I'm like, man, this man don't even know me. Like,
so why he want to pray for me?
Yeah, like,
why does he care?
Yeah, why he care? But that was like God showing me, like, people. Because some people might never walk into the church building. You know what I mean?
Come on.
But they looking at our lives.
Come on.
They looking at us at work.
Come on.
They looking at us in the marketplace. They looking at us how we do business.
Yeah.
And we're the Bible. They
Right.
might never open up the book, maybe.
Right.
But we're that living epistle that they're looking at, and that's what Pastor Simon, he done for me. Like, I saw God. And then it's like, and he told me that I said this in that bed. I don't remember saying it. But, like, God, if you get me out this bed, I'm never going back to the streets. And I made that vow with God, and from that day on, no more streets.
Clean. Come on.
Like, I'm talking about I didn't have to go to rehab.
Yeah.
Because I was going through withdrawals, too. That's another reason why I never stopped drugs, because, like, if I didn't do them in 3 days, then I would get sick.
Your body, yeah.
My body, like, what you doing? Where the lean? Where the syrup? Where the weed? But I'm talking about the power of God took over my body, and I'm talking about no rehab, no nothing. So now I'm being trained at Gyra World Church Ministries, teaching, all this stuff, man. God.
And shout out to Pastor P and Apostle Simon, because they have a phenomenal program. Phenomenal program.
Yes.
Absolutely love the work that they have been doing consistently in the community.
Yes, because they take people like me, them hard cases.
Yeah.
That's what they pray for, the hard cases, and and use the power of God, the Word of God, to change their lives. So it's like, as they're training me, they're teaching me. Now I believe God is raising me up, because now I'm having a desire, like, to have a wife and things like that. And
your desires change from addictions to you wanting something different.
Right. I saw something. Like, I could see myself doing this now.
Right.
Back in those days, I didn't see that. I didn't see myself, like, with a child and things like that, because I was too selfish.
Right.
And to have children, you have to be unselfish. To have a wife, you got to be unselfish.
Right.
So it's like, now God brings me back to, like, my wife now, Precious Martin. But, we dated back in the day, like, when I was crazy,
Hold up. Why you was crazy?
Yeah, while I was crazy. So, so she saw, like, but now I'm clean, and I remember how good of a woman she was to me back in those crazy days. So, like, as we're talking, you know what I mean? And then, it just hit me like, you know what? Let's try it out.
Yeah.
So, next thing I know, man, hey, man, we get married. And so then God shifted where I started going. I left Gyra and I went to her church, Ruach Ministries International, with Apostle Glenn and Pastor Yoshi Alexander. So now I'm going there now. Everything's new. It's a new route. now me and Press, we got 3 kids. It's just all kind of stuff going on. But then it's like my desires of, you know what, I got a gift on the inside of me. Like, how can I use my gift? Because, the Bible says that, your gift will make room for you and bring you around great men. So it's like, what's my gift? And I love encouraging people. And that's where the ABCs of faith come in.
Yes.
Because, like, every day, like on my Facebook page or, I'm writing encouraging things, at work, I'm just encouraging everybody, to go for their dreams and, don't just settle for this and, all this kind of stuff. So it's like, now I'm seeing myself like writing a book. I started, writing it, typing it.
Yeah.
But then I stopped. Because I ain't know how to publish it and, do all that other stuff. I don't know.
You allowed your mind to get further than the moment that he had you in. And we do that with everything, honestly.
Right.
Like a lot of times, God just wants you to be obedient in the current season. He's not looking for you to go and figure out the next season or the seasons after that. But let's just be current in this season and do what it is he's asked you to do.
Right. And that's what I heard. Like I'm going to say another time I heard clear in my spirit. I hear God say, just do what you know how to do.
Yeah, there you go.
That's it. Just do what you know how to do.
Right.
So, as the ABCs, it's just something simple. I believe, as kids, we had to learn our ABCs. That's the foundation of us spelling and talking, learn how to sound right sentences. That's the foundation. But, like, do we have something simple to give us a foundation of living by faith?
There you go.
In this walk.
Yes.
Because, you could go to church for, 50, 60 years. But if you don't have no foundation in faith, the devil beat you up every day of your life.
Come on.
So it's like, and I don't like that. I don't like when I see people like struggling like with their mind and going through all these things that's not real, because the enemy just play with our mind.
Right, all day. And he don't take no breaks.
Nah.
He don't go on vacation.
Nah, he in that mind. and he wants you to believe the worst scenario for every situation. Your toe could start hurting and he'll tell your mind you about to die. It's just my toe. But he gonna bring the worst scenario to your mind, and then if you get to thinking on that, like you really be believing like you about to die because you got a pain in your pinky toe, you know, and that's not the case. You just banged your toe the other night. That's all that happened,
right.
But the devil, he play with our mind, So I believe that as people learn these ABCs, it's gonna give them a stress-free life. That's why the subtitle of my book is 26 Keys to Living a Stress-Free Life, because it's 26 letters in the alphabet. So I believe each letter in the alphabet is going to give you a different key that's going to unlock a different door to take the stress out your life.
You better come on and say it.
Yeah.
Now, look, I love this, Punchie, because, number one, it's simple.
Right.
We don't have to make God complicated.
Right.
We don't have to make faith complicated.
Right.
And you have done such a phenomenal job
Right.
with making sure we understand the simplicity
Right.
behind building your faith.
Right.
So the ABCs of faith, y'all, listen, first of all, start with A. And you go down the alphabet.
Right, that's it.
He make it that simple,
Learn
giving
the
a scripture for each
word as well as a devotional, and then giving you the opportunity
Right.
to actually write out.
Right.
You know, so you can continue the journey and you're deepening the journey. And
Right.
that's what's so phenomenal about this.
Right.
So phenomenal.
I love it because
Yes.
it's a devotional. Like, you know, you can read this over and over. It's not just a one-time read.
Right.
You know, you got to learn your alphabets again. You got to learn your ABCs
Right.
again. You know, you had to say those ABCs every day for years before you memorize it. So you got to read this book over and over
Yes.
for some years before you
Yes.
memorize, you know, everything to take you to another level. And I just want to give a big shout out to Crystal Baptiste
Hey, Crystal. Hey, girl.
and my wife, because
Hey, precious.
I did what God told me to do, just type it up. And
Yeah.
after I typed it up, man, I talked to Crystal Baptiste, and she just said, hey, email me what you got.
And she helped
I
you.
emailed her what I had, and then
Wow.
my wife went behind my back and paid her for all the things she had to do, because I didn't know what all she had to do.
Right.
But when I found out, I was like, dang, you did all that? You
But
edited?
see, that's how God operates. You know, because he told you just do your part.
Do my part.
He has everything else figured out for you. But so many times we get stuck in the part that we're supposed to do. Stop trying to figure out everything else. Just do your part and watch God work. And that's exactly what he does by bringing the right people in the right timing, because you didn't know the gifts when you and Precious dated in the past, like you stated. But in God's perfect timing, it came back, and look how this woman supports you. She say, look, I got you.
Man, I'm telling you, because it went behind my back. Like, I ain't know
Come
nothing.
on.
And like, so now I'm graduating from theology school.
Yes.
That was July the 25th of this year, 2021.
Yes.
And my pastor, Pastor Yoshi, you know, let Precious know, hey, David could set up a table at the graduation. It's going to be at the Civic Center. He could do a book signing and all this. So, you know, now my wife, she getting all that together, like to have a table. You know, she got the water bottles with my book cover on it and all kind of stuff that I ain't thinking about.
Yes.
You know, all I know how to do is just type. That's it.
Yes.
Like all this other stuff, man, my wife did it, man. You know, and I'm very grateful, you know, for my wife, you know, because like she didn't have to do that. You know, she's got her own business. She could have been just doing her business, you know, but she helped me out.
But you're
man.
a part of it. So
Right.
we appreciate that too. And you know, David, I have truly been honored just to sit here and hear your story. We've known each other since school, you know. I mean,
Middle
look,
school.
look, I look real young. I am still young.
Amen.
Hashtag. But you know, we've known each other since school, and I've always known you as the funny guy. You know, like you gonna make us laugh. The class clown, that one. And, you know, just continue to bring everybody together and be happy. You know, and then to be able to hear your story of how you dealt with addiction, but then you overcame. You didn't stay there. You overcame through multiple help that came your way. So grateful for that. Through having a praying mother, you know, consistently. Being able to have a wife that's a huge supporter of you, you know, and she may have been praying for you all them years leading up to, just saying. You know, and then being able to have such great ministries within Port Arthur, Texas, who said, you know what, these are the people that we are looking for. This is the person we want to help. And they were able to help you overcome and look at where you are today with your bachelor's in theology, have your first book with many more to come. And you are now sharing your testimony with the world. And there's so much more in store for you.
Amen. I believe that.
So I just want to say I'm so grateful to have you here. It has been phenomenal to actually just hear your story. And I know that there's much more to come. So y'all better look out for my friend.
Amen.
Because this is only the beginning.
Only the beginning.
So if you don't have it, make sure that you pick up the ABCs of Faith, 26 Keys to Living Stress-Free. Listen, you want to have a stress-free life. You want to know how to do that? Pick this book up. It's going to help you every single day.
Amen.
Thank you so much, Punchie.
You.
I truly
Thank
appreciate you.
It's love. I appreciate you. It's an honor to be here, you know, and I just want to encourage the people out there that, man, y'all could do whatever you dream about. Like, I'm telling you, with God, all things are possible. Stop listening to that little voice in your head saying that you can't do it.
Come on.
Like, you could do it. I'm talking about whatever, man. Hey, I love y'all. Peace.
Yes, that was good. Thank you.